We're live. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Late Night Show with Dr. Kojo. We're talking about 3 ways that you self-sabotage with AuDHD. We are live on a couple of different platforms: Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, both my YouTube pages, Twitch, and TikTok. Let me adjust something on Twitch so we can get streaming. AuDHD talk. You gotta be very specific with your titles on Twitch. There we go. All right, 3 ways you self-sabotage with AuDHD. I have been adding in the title of the live streams information about my upcoming comedy shows. We have a show April 26th in Houston, Texas, and a show May the 31st in Nashville, Tennessee. But for this live stream, I wanted to experiment, and I left off the X in the title. I chose to be concise and clear and direct to the point. So we're going to give that a shot. Go ahead and use the comment section to introduce yourself. Let me know where you're checking in from and how your day has been real quick, and then we'll get into the topic. We have Deviate Squirrel. Maybe my reading ain't the best today. What's up? We have Leilani checking in. Leilani's checking in from New York City. She is a moderator, so she's a trusted one on this live stream. Leilani, thank you for being here. We have Dalt on TikTok checking in from Scotland. Maria checking in from Green Bay, Wisconsin. So we have an international audience, y'all. Tay from Canada. People from all over the globe who are here to hear from yours truly and to learn about neurodivergence. My fellow neuro-spicy folks, I'm assuming some of y'all are undiagnosed neurodivergent, or maybe y'all are card-carrying members of the neurodivergent collective. Either way, I'm very happy that y'all are here today. We have Elise checking in from the Netherlands. The Netherlands. Look at this, it's so exciting. Blades checking in from Texas. What's up, Blades? Pause of Reality. We are live on YouTube. Fixated Finds checking in from South Carolina. I love South Carolina. Marco, what's going on? My guy Marco, what's up? Good to see you. We have love from Romania. Look at this. We have an international audience. I appreciate y'all. I know I've said it multiple times, but I appreciate y'all. Thank you for allowing me to do this. Thank you for allowing me to do this. I don't think y'all understand how much this means to me in a world where everybody is on their phones all the time, and you have all these things that are fighting for your attention. The fact that y'all will give me your attention, it means the most to me. It means so much to me. We have love from North Carolina. Nathan checking in from California. Nathan, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Samir, Samir, I'm not gonna put this on you if you're not neurodivergent. Just push back against it. But I think you could be neurospicy because you put the pronunciation for your name there, so that way I wouldn't mess it up. Instantly, I was like, Samir. That's what's up. I appreciate you checking in from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I appreciate you. And Jeanette, beautiful name, checking in from Ohio. Nikita checking in from Conyers, Georgia. Okay, Conyers in the house. Melissa checking in from Los Angeles, California, the home team. Okay, Southern New Jersey in the house. People from all over, Romanian American, Puerto Rico, Utah. Okay, happy early birthday, Emily. Michigan in the house. Okay. Yeah, I hope everybody's doing great tonight. Dalt, I appreciate that. Dalt is talking about the AuDHD versus the ADHD versus AuDHD versus autism videos. I appreciate it. We found an easy and simple way to show the difference between ADHD, AuDHD, and autism by itself. So I love the fact that I've been able to connect with you all through those videos. Blaze is calling it out like parent. Boston, Massachusetts in the house as well. Derek checking in from Michigan has autism and ADHD as well. Perfect. You're in the right spot. Model Lori, how are you? Y'all are all in the right spot. I love those comparison videos. I like them too. I think they're quick and simple. And I think people can understand what I'm trying to convey in the videos. It's so short and concise and direct to the point. And there's neurodivergence. We don't like people wasting our time. So I'm just grateful that we found a way to convey this message. I really appreciate it. Roberta, beautiful name, beautiful name. My dad's name is Robert, so I like that name. First timer, long follower. I have autism, ADHD. Well, you're in the right spot. You're in the right spot. Canada, Tennessee, Virginia, Vancouver, Ireland. Okay. Texas. Yeah, y'all are in the right spot. Lindsay from LinkedIn. We are streaming live on LinkedIn. Guys, I just want to mention that. We're streaming live on LinkedIn. So if you're on LinkedIn and you comment, now I click the comment, we can see you. Obviously, we can see Lindsay's amazing photo right here. She's smiling. She's energetic. She's also somebody who helps people for a living. Dr. Lindsay Hill, she runs the site NP Bootcamp, and she does work that is very important. Very important. Lindsay, you are appreciated here. New York in the house, California, Reno, Nevada. No, hold up. Is it Nevada? No, that's correct. Nevada. I keep wanting to say Nevada because of NBA YoungBoy. Madison, OMG, I love you too. Thank you for your attention. Y'all could be anywhere in the world right now. Thank you for your attention. I appreciate that. Jess, your videos explain my life so much. I send them to my man, and it helps him too. Especially how it shows in women with like level 1. He sees that my traits are consistent with autism and ADHD. Jess, this is one of the biggest reasons why I do what I do. As y'all know, when you're in a relationship and you're trying to help the other person understand you, it's tough to articulate yourself because we say so much and sometimes our partners feel like they don't know what we're about. But when you can send a video, we communicate through Instagram Reels as neurodivergence or YouTube Shorts or TikTok. So when you can send somebody a video and it's a short video, something that doesn't take longer than anywhere from 10 to 14 seconds, and it helps your partner understand you. Okay, we're making progress. Big progress. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. You're far too kind. And my shirt, you can get all the KS Kodo Sarfo gear you want. The link is in the bio if you want to get these t-shirts or if you want to get the hoodie. KS Kodo Sarfo link is in the bio to get one of my shirts or hoodies. Hatfield, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Look at me, relationship counselor. I appreciate that. And like Leilani says, make sure you guys like the stream. Share the stream because you can share it on TikTok. You can share it on YouTube as well. I'm not sure how it works on LinkedIn. You can share it on Facebook too. You can share it on Facebook as well. So go ahead and share it. Nathan, normally we do questions towards the end, but direct service provider. So Nathan, let me tell you what I think is happening here. I think that when it comes to direct service providers and people within healthcare in general, people who have, or whether you're undiagnosed or diagnosed, neurodivergent healthcare workers and therapists tend to look out for neurodivergence a little bit more because of their own lived experiences. So that's what I believe I've done. That's why I'm able to catch neurodivergence a little bit better than most people, because like I go through it as well. I know exactly what my clients are going through. I know exactly what my patients are going through because I live it. We lived it. My moto so dope. Candy, next time I come to Vancouver, I gotta see if I can bring some merch. I've been thinking about your city. I've been thinking about Vancouver. I've really been thinking about Vancouver. I would love to come back. I'd love to come back. Former Evans resident living in Alaska now. AuDHD diagnosed as an adult. Okay, I bought your book and I adore it. Carol, thank you so much for buying the book and supporting what we have going on over here. I appreciate that, Carol. And Maya J on TikTok, I appreciate you recognizing the Kid Cudi song. You caught me stimming the Kid Cudi. You caught it. You see, yeah, no, you are in the right place, Maya. You have found your people. You are in the right place. Yes, I would love to come to Europe. I do feel like sometime this year I'll come to Europe. I'd like to do things all in one fell swoop. So if I'm coming to England, I'd like to go to Scotland. I'd like to go to Northern Ireland. I'd like to do comedy shows and hangouts at these locations. So it's all about coming up with a good plan. But I would love to come through Europe, do a couple of shows, which give us a chance to, hang out with each other, which is super cool. Because it's about the hangout. And once I understood that, it unlocked a lot of things for me. Because I would think to myself, well, what if the show isn't the best? Or like, what if I mess up my jokes? Or just like I would get inside my head. But then I realized that the people are here for you. People come out to hang out with you. They come out to hang out with you. So once I understood that, it made things a lot easier for me. I'm just here to hang out with y'all, tell a couple of jokes, talk about my experiences, and connect with y'all. That's the main thing I'm really looking for. I'm looking for connection. I'm looking to connect with y'all. That's the main thing that I'm looking for. Arizona is on my list of places to come to, Shannon. It's on my list. I love Arizona. I love Arizona. Diagnosed AuDHD in 22. My husband. Monk, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I have a list for y'all today of 3 ways that neurodivergence self-sabotage. And you'll see this a lot with AuDHD. And when it comes to self-sabotage, it's often difficult to catch it while you're doing it. But when you realize the patterns that you have and you're aware of certain things, that right there puts you in a much better position to succeed. Sometimes problems don't need fixing. They just merely need awareness of them. And then we start to do so much better. Balkans. Okay, I got to come out to the Balkans. I'm not sure what Balkans means, but hey, I'm down to come to the Balkans. I'm down to come to the Balkans. I'm not I don't think I'm hypermobile. I don't think I'm hypermobile. I could be, but I don't think that I am. All right, let me see my three things right here. Okay, awesome. 3 ways you self-sabotage with AuDHD. I have a heck of a list for y'all. I got a heck of a list for y'all today. Oh, okay, all right. So I'm not gonna go too far off topic because I'm not gonna let my ADHD win today. My ADHD is not gonna win. I'm gonna stay on track. But I love learning random facts about geography. Maybe that could be, the autism talking, but I love learning random facts. I just learned that the Balkans consists of these 4 countries, or maybe the ETC. There's probably some more countries there. Serbia, Romania, Bulgaria, Hungary. How many of us in the United States think that these are like 4 cities within one country? I didn't know. Now I know. I learned something new today. I love learning new things. Oh, Albania too. Albania, did not know that. Okay. I did not know that. Now I know. Now I know. Oh, New England. Okay, that makes sense. And let me see what Jessica's saying. I can't tell you how long, if I've ever felt this comfortable and interested in a live on Facebook. A beautiful group of people that can understand and relate to what you feel like is your own daily struggles. Jessica, I wish I could pin this as people are watching the live stream. I completely agree with it. And see, we all have similar experiences here. Mary, with her beautiful kids in the photo saying, I was late diagnosed at 33 after my mom died. Sorry for your loss, Mary. My dad has textbook Asperger's back in the day. That's what they used to call it back in the day. I have two sons that are also autistic, 9 and almost 3. And now with this knowledge, Mary can parent more effectively. And the knowledge that her parents didn't have, she has it. So it positions her to do well, to do better. She was already going to do well, but it positions her to do better, to do better, to do better. What's up, Lindsay on TikTok? And JJ on TikTok is saying, my marriage ended because of my autism and ADHD. See, I believe that. I believe that a lot of people's relationships have ended due to undiagnosed neurodivergence. And I have a video of mine. Once again, I won't go off topic. I'm going to give you all these 3 ways that we self-sabotage. But I have a video that I just released on my Patreon a couple of days ago. And this video, it may be my most personal one yet. In the video, I'll talk about ways that I've self-sabotaged, how undiagnosed AuDHD led to me self-sabotaging in relationships from a business perspective and also in my personal relationships. So if there's some Dr. Kojo lore that you may have missed out on and you want to know about certain parts of my life and where I've self-sabotaged, I talk about all that in that video. The video is 35 minutes long. It's on my Patreon. So if y'all want access to it, you can go to my Patreon and get it. But I will upload that video at some point to YouTube because it's a video that everybody, I think, would benefit from watching. So I just want to say that. All right. So number 1, ways that you self-sabotage with AuDHD. Okay, I'm typing it out so I can put it in the chat. All right. Number 1, over preparing instead of starting. Over preparing instead of starting. And that's a great question for Shiva on TikTok. We'll get to that towards the end of the live stream. But all right, now I want to get through these talking points. Over preparing instead of starting. Do y'all resonate with this one? Where are my over preparers? The people who over prepare and you do research on something and you figure out what to do and how you should do it. But when it's time to execute, you don't want to start. Okay? You want to do everything but start. And the reason why this sucks is because on top of us struggling with executive dysfunction, which makes us slower to get things done, we're also struggling with transitions. So it takes us longer to go from one thing to the next thing, to the next thing, and to the next thing. So there's a delay in between tasks that we struggle to start things. Then when we start something, it's a struggle for us to stop it. So when we say we want to wake up at a certain time in the morning, it's pretty damn hard because it's hard to fall asleep because you don't want to stop a thing that you were finally able to start. Over preparing instead of starting. All right. And I've talked about this before, but you have 2 operating systems in your head. You have the autism part that wants to go into detail about the things that you need to do before you start the thing. Then you have the ADHD part, which wants to start the thing impulsively before you're ready. You want to start things that you're only interested in for the time being, things that you won't sustain. And when you have a plan about what you need to do and it's time to actually start, now you don't want to start. Now you don't want to do anything. You want to rip up that plan and then make another plan. There was nothing wrong with the first plan. The first plan was good enough. The first plan was the key. The first plan was the key. You just didn't see it through. I'll get this in this. Let me let John know. Let John know I'm in the live stream. Okay, John, I appreciate that. After my live stream, I'll go through and I'll get caught up with this and all the emails. Thank you so much. My over preparers. I see Gabby on TikTok said, I'm tired, LMAO. Gabby, can you relate? People who like to over prepare. I see Ann said, I sabotage my whole day today, complete write off. Melissa said, deep breath. Corrine says, my executive functioning is non existent. Guys, one reason why this happens is because we have a lot of open tabs in our brain. You have a lot of open tabs. You have loops that need to be closed. Right now, I'm looking at an iMac computer screen that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 tabs. 16 tabs, all right? Tab 1, YouTube clips. Tab 2, top AuDHD, can't see the rest. Tab 3, new video. Tab 4, fourth wall comedy set. That's my own set I was supposed to watch. You know how athletes watch film and go back and get better? I was supposed to watch my set from the comedy show that we just did. Obviously, I procrastinated on it. The next tab, Facebook. The next tab, YouTube. Next tab is this one. Next tab is Grok. Next tab is ChatGPT. Next tab is Inbox. Next tab is Nashville open mics. Look what I'm doing. Oh, the B bought tickets to the show Nashville. The B, I appreciate that. I can't wait to see you in Nashville. I can't wait. Next tab is clips. The next 2 tabs are YouTube. The next tab is trips to Seattle. And the next tab is something with Google Docs. All of these tabs that are open, and this is just one of my browsers. I have another browser with 9 more tabs. Okay, so that's 25 tabs open on my iMac. So think of your brain the same way. If you have 25 tabs open in your brain and you haven't closed any of the loops, how would you expect yourself to do anything with any type of progress, efficiency, consistency? You have too many tabs open in your brain. How can you make things simple for yourself? You can make things simple by starting it. You can make things simple by starting it. There's a list of things that you're avoiding right now, and any progress that you make towards completing something off of that list will give you something that we call momentum. When you have momentum, this is where the neurodivergence becomes a gift, because we know that some of our best work has been done with momentum. The thing about momentum is that it's hard to stop once you started. I get that, yes, which could be its own issue. But when you're struggling with executive dysfunction, you just want to do anything. So we have to capture that momentum some way, somehow, and you can get it by doing the things that you're avoiding. One thing that I like to do at the beginning of every week, I just started this recently, is to mind map. Take like a little poster board or something and write out everything in your head. Just dump it all out. It's too much. It's just too much for you in your head. You gotta just dump it all out. You know how you know how good you feel after you take a large number 2? Like the probiotics have started to work. And yet, yes, guys, girls use the restroom too. Girls take dumps. Guys are like, what? This happens? You know how you feel after you just clean your insides? You're like, oh, I can breathe now. Ain't it funny how you can think better after number 2? You're like, you start to go deep in thought, like, I never looked at the world from this perspective. All you need to do is just cleanse yourself. A detox, yeah. All of a sudden, you're solving complex world tasks. You're like, if we just did this and that, we would have no more starving people in the world. All you had to do was just clean your gut. Clean your gut. Like I'll walk into the kitchen after. Yeah, no. Post some clarity. That's what it is. Post some clarity. I'll walk into the kitchen after releasing a mean one, and I'm like, man, I'm too hard on myself. I start to be kinder to myself. I'm like, you know what? I'll just do the rest of that tomorrow after my workout when I feel good. I realize I can't get things done when I'm not in a good state. Let me help myself feel good, and let me help myself feel good as soon as I can. So I'm going to wake up, take a shower right in the morning, then go to the gym. Now I feel good. Now I'm going to list out what I'm going to do before that. So that way, when I come back from the gym, I can just start working on my tasks. Funny how that works. You just have to get all that frustration, get it out of you, so now you can actually execute. Because all y'all who are watching me right now, planning is not your issue. You're pretty good at planning. The issue is the execution, over preparing instead of starting. And what happens when the delay between the thought and the execution gets longer? What happens is that your confidence starts to drop. You don't feel as confident in yourself. And when your confidence is dropping, then, that's the vibe you're carrying going through life. High confidence people tend to stick around other high confidence individuals. So if you can figure out a way to make progress on the things that you're avoiding, you're going to go a long way. And Josh asks a really good question right here. Josh says, do you think you would be where you are if you didn't have Adderall? Not to get sidetracked, but I think damn, that's a good ass question. Yes, I would have figured it some way, somehow. I would have figured it out some way, somehow. Yeah, I think I would be where I am now without the Adderall, but it would have been a longer path, and I would have put myself in harm's way more. Because with ADHD, getting things done is like this. Whereas neurotypicals, they can have more of a linear path. So I'm going to get the thing done. I will get the thing done, but it doesn't have to be so dang hard. It doesn't have to be so hard. We can make things easier for ourselves. So I think I would be where I am. All of my followers, I would have this, but we're taking a year or two longer. And I mean, I would have self-sabotaged more. It would have been more substances, more women, more drinking, and that would be what would take me out of the game. I believe I would be just as successful now without the meds, but the self-sabotage is what could potentially, have prevented me from being here. Is the drinking too much, getting high all the time, always having to talk to some girl. If I'm not with her, I gotta be with her. That's what would take me out the game. That's what would take me out the game, honestly. But great question. Great question. Great question. And Fixated Finds on TikTok says, I've been raw dogging ADHD, suspected AuDHD for years. Just got medicated last year. Well, the medication is probably what made the autism shine through, honestly. That's what made the autism shine through more than likely. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. Mother rabbit. I appreciate your comment. And a lot of people here believe that they're, broken, or they believe that they were broken before they got the diagnosis or understanding of themselves. So I'm grateful that I get to do that. Shiesty, you good. You got the chance to pee before this live stream. You good, baby? You good, Shiesty? You good, Shiesty? So over preparing is a way that you can self-sabotage, because the issue is not with the preparation of things. The issue is with the execution. The execution. You gotta be mindful of that. You have to be mindful of that. Number 2, let me drop the second one in here. Number 2, for all my neurodivergence. Can I spell this word? Intellectualizing. It's a big word. Pretty big word right here. Second way that you self-sabotage. All right. Intellectualizing emotions. What does this mean? Intellectualizing emotions. Did I spell that word correct? I-N-T-E-L-L. That looks about right. It looks weird on my screen. Intellectualizing emotions. Intellectual. The word just looks weird for me. Good Zoe. Good Zoe. So for my neurodivergents out there, we tend to intellectualize our emotions, and you confuse this with progress. You think that you're making progress, but what is actually happening is that you lack insight. All right. So if we're talking about, I spelled it right. I'm pretty sure I spelled it right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I spelled it right. So damn, she got a lot of matted hair. So when you intellectualize emotions, you try your best to understand all the emotions that you're experiencing, but you're not making progress because you don't quite have insight. So if you're looking at wisdom and we're looking at resilience, these are two key things that you're going to need to be successful in life. Wisdom is looking at something that happened to you in the past and understanding it. And this evidence of you understanding it has been noted in your behavior. Your behavior has changed. If your behavior did not change, then you did not understand your situation. So you can intellectualize emotions, and you can say, I'm feeling anxious. I'm feeling this. I'm feeling that. I struggle with CPTSD. I struggle with this. I struggle with that. I struggle with rejection sensitive dysphoria. And you try to make sense of everything, which is good. But you think that you're making progress, but you aren't, because you lack insight into how these emotions affect you. So if this is the case, you're going to feel like you're doing a lot of hard work, but you're not going anywhere, which is true. That part's true. And this can lead to burnout. And burnout tends to happen whenever you're working very hard on the wrong things, which we tend to do quite often. We work really hard on the wrong things. It's not that you're not working hard. You're working hard just on the wrong things. So now you're burnt out. If you want to intellectualize every single thing, then you're going to be in your head a lot. You can't work a mental problem by thinking more. Normally, you have to move the body. You got to move the body. You got to do something. But you can't just sit there and think and think and think and think and think, especially if you're in the house. You got to get outside of the house. Go to the library. Go to the gym. Now, I've been going to the gym for 5 years consecutively, so the gym is not difficult for me. But the library, I'm acclimating myself back to, library environments. When was the last time you went to your local library? If you're all in your head and you're thinking inside the house, go to the library. Think about the same thing, but think about it in the library. Change your environment. Change your state. Change your state. Get to the library. A lot of your inside thoughts are not an accurate reflection of where you are. They're inside thoughts. The gym saves me. Same here. Same here. Get outside of the house. And you don't have to make sense of everything that you're going through. When you understand something about yourself, merely having the awareness can help to bring about some change. Okay? But ask yourself, do you have knowledge without a difference in behavior? If you want to know if you're intellectualizing, ask yourself that. Do I have knowledge and information on myself? Potentially some valuable insight, but is my behavior still the same? If your behavior has changed, then it means that we've made some considerable steps towards making a difference. But if your behavior is not changing, then we are merely entertaining ourselves. We're just blocking. I mean, we're just entertaining ourselves. And the beast says, what do you mean you don't have to make sense of it? So if you're struggling with a certain thing, it's helpful to know that, oh, I'm going through this because of that. Cool. But if you don't know why you're going through this thing because of that, you will continue to do that over and over and over again. And wisdom means that we've changed our behavior because of things that we've seen. All right. And somebody who's resilient is somebody who will go through a difficult time, but the time that it takes you to bounce back from an adverse, event becomes shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. You're building up grit. You're becoming tougher emotionally. And you can't go to the gym to get tougher emotionally. That's how you get tougher physically. To get tougher emotionally, you have to go through the emotions and deal with all the things that we're avoiding and understand why we're feeling these things, and then recognize what needs to change as a result of these things. You got to figure out what we need to do differently. What do we have to do differently from last time that helps us make progress? Progress. Working on getting to the gym this week. Congratulations, Melissa. And you have to think about how to make it easy for yourself. A lot of people who struggle to get to the gym, what really helps is taking some gym clothes with you and going to the gym on your way back from work. You have to figure out what makes things easy for you. Because when you go home, if it takes us a long time to start things and we struggle with transitions, how can we make things easy for ourselves? We take a gym bag with some clothes. Let's go to the gym on our way to work, on our way back from work. Maybe even walk during your lunch break. We've got to get crafty with how we can get our exercise in. But the body is meant to be moved. The body is meant to be moved. And yeah, when it's not crowded, the gym is pretty good. And sometimes the gym will be crowded, especially after work. Between 5 and 6, when everybody gets off of work, it's very hard to get to the machines. So that can definitely make things difficult. And the gym can help you work through these emotions. But just because you can explain why you're going through something, it doesn't mean that you've understood the patterns that lead you to certain behaviors. So if you understand that certain things make you anxious, but you don't know why they make you anxious, and you keep finding yourself in loops where you're exposing yourself to this thing that makes you anxious, then it can be helpful to understand, okay, what do I do, or what happens to me that leads me to place myself in situations that I know I don't want to be in, but still I keep doing this. All right. And if you dig deeper, then you'll get to the answer. You'll dig a little bit deeper, and then you'll finally crack something, and you'll be like, so I don't enjoy this, but I continue to do this because I struggle with people pleasing. How can I work to reduce my people pleasing tendencies? Now we're making progress. Instead of knowing that you shouldn't do a certain thing and say, oh yeah, this is not good for me, this makes me anxious, blah, blah. Well, what's underneath all the anxiety? And what makes the anxiety worse? What makes it better? Action makes the anxiety go away. When you're acting on something, we can defeat anxiety. But if we're just sitting there trying to think it out, you can't think it out. You can't think out the anxiety. You can't think it out. We got to do something. We have to do something. And look, this right here, I like what Devin just said. I got a membership to the roller rink instead. So this right here is insight as evidenced by a change in behavior. So let's say Devin's somebody who just, they don't like to do the gyms. The gyms are overcrowded. It makes her overstimulated. The gym is just not something that she wants to do, but everybody's like, oh, go to the gym. You have to exercise. You can't not exercise. So you get a gym membership and you go to the gym, even though you don't like going to the gym. You're not making progress, but you're just doing what you think you should do. And then you're confused as to why you're not feeling better. Maybe the gym just isn't your thing. But we still have to move the body. We still need cardio. But because you have this knowledge of yourself, you know that you do better when you go to the roller rink because you absolutely love it. Now you can actually sustain this behavior over a period of time because it's what you enjoy doing in the environment that you enjoy doing it in. So this is why it's important to know what we like, what we don't like. Sometimes you have to steady yourself, not from a judgmental perspective, but from a perspective of looking to get some valuable information on yourself that leads to different behavior. And the gym can be, look, the gym is getting harder and harder to go to. I hate it when I'm at the gym and there's a girl in front of me doing that exercise where she's like, you know, like you open your legs. It's a thigh exercise, and she's just doing it in front of me. I'm like, I'm gonna look anywhere but up. If there's a woman exercising in front of me, because nobody wants to be seen as a creep. I don't care what she's doing. I'm looking down. I could look at the floor as if there's cartoons on the floor, or look at the ceiling as if there's The Office that's playing up there. I'm gonna look anywhere but directly. Because don't put me in the category of the creeps, you know. I ain't no creep. I gotta look everywhere. Levita, yeah, it looks a little sexual, but yeah, I'm not saying that they're trying to flirt with me or anything. I'm definitely not saying that, but I just do my best to not make eye contact, especially during an exercise. And, you know, people always have, you know, their phones, you know, on, and it's recording at the gym, so nobody wants to be caught, you know, lacking. So yeah, the gym is yeah. I could go on and on about the gym, and also some of the clothes that I see at the gym. My goodness. I'm not going to get off topic, but I see it's diabolical what I see at the gym. I'm like, is this time for me to close my eyes? Just let me close my eyes. Mickey Ficky. It's too much at the gym. It is too much at the gym. A rock climbing gym could be cool if that's what you enjoy. A rock climbing gym. And yeah, nobody wants to be on the background video. Nobody wants that. The shorts with the rush back. I'm not sure what that is. Someone says, stay on topic, Brad. Oh, you must be new here. But we do need to stay on topic. But that's a second way that you will on my list. If we're talking about 3 ways that you self-sabotage with AuDHD. And this list right here is way longer than 3. I just want to say that. It's way longer than 3. I just came up with 3, but it's way longer than 3. Way longer than 3. Oh, Eric is new to the live stream. Eric's like, this guy keeps going off topic, and he comes back on topic. And yeah, before we get too deep down this rabbit hole, I just want to say that for my guys out there, especially the guys who are new to going to the gym, it's just best to look to the left, look to the right, look up, look down. You know, don't get in trouble. Don't get in trouble now. Don't get in trouble. You know, nowadays I want to be very careful with what you say about anybody's clothing. So I don't make comments about what women or men could wear to the gym. I just do my, you know, exercise, and I get out of there. I get out of there. All right. This next one right here might hit home for y'all. Ways that you self-sabotage with AuDHD. I know that I've definitely struggled with this one. Let me make sure. Reliance is how you spell reliance. Okay. For some reason, I'm doubting. I'm doubting my spelling today. This is how you spell reliance. Okay. Hyper self-reliance. Okay. Hyper self-reliance. And Carrie, I'm sure that gray sweats, guys could wear gray sweats and do the same. On that last point about what women wear to the gym, because yes, guys can do it too, wearing gray sweats and stuff like that. I don't wear anything. I don't wear gray sweats to the gym. I don't wear anything that could, people that come to the gym to get a workout in. I want everybody to focus at the gym, because there could be some neurodivergence in there. They get easily distracted. So, no gray sweats for me. Like, that's my get in and get out. Trying to keep everybody on track. But the hyper self-reliance that you'll see amongst neurodivergence it's part of what's holding you back. Okay, it's part of what's holding you back. This hyper self-reliance. You don't need help from anybody. You don't need anything from anybody. You want to do it all by yourself. You don't want to be told what to do. Sometimes telling you what to do is the best way to not get you to do that thing. So if you want a neurodivergent to do something, tell them not to do a certain thing. Then they'll do the opposite. Hyper self-reliance. Okay. I do this as well. I have modes where I'm like, all right, I don't need nobody. I don't need anything. I can do this all on my own. What you really want is to know that you could do something on your own, more so than you actually doing the thing on your own. You just want to feel capable that you can do it. I could do this if I wanted to, but I don't have to do it by myself. I could get this thing done all by myself, potentially, but I don't have to. You need relationships, and this is very difficult for us to understand as neurodivergents, because sometimes we like being by ourselves. We like recharging in our own area. We don't want to be around because we know people. We see through people. We understand things at a granular level. So we know that if we hang with people for too long, the people will get to peopling. And sometimes you just don't want to do anything with anybody. You just want to rock out by yourself. You don't want to play games. You don't want to mask. And oftentimes when you're real, I don't think you can be too real, but when you're real and you show up as yourself and everybody else is showing up as who, they think they should be, then you could be penalized. People could, spot your energy out, and you could suffer socially because of it. There's a lot of reasons as to why you wouldn't want to be with people. Amy saying, I prefer the company of my dog. Yeah, a dog is not going to let you down like how a person will let you down. Sometimes we become so independent. And hyper independence hurts less than disappointing a loved one. Yeah. Sometimes you don't want to disappoint people, so you want to be just by yourself. And I get that. All right. I get that. Lovita says, I prefer the company of books. Look, books, animal companionship. These are all things that a lot of us would rather do than to put up with people. And I know people can be very exhausting. I know. I still think that I don't know if I'm an extrovert or introvert, whatever. You have the extroverted introverts and the introverted extroverts, whatever. I like people. I genuinely do. At the same time, if I could choose to be with people or to be with myself, I would be by myself. I really would. I like people, and I still have to recharge after I hang out with people. I love meeting new people. I love talking to people, but I love being by myself. And if this is the case, you will feel as if you can do everything by yourself. And also, one reason why we have a lot of hyper independence is because it's our way of seeking autonomy. Because we need so much help from everybody else in order to first survive and then thrive, we sometimes question our self efficacy, how capable we are. So that leads to you becoming hyper independent. You don't need anybody, you can't disappoint anybody, you get to do things on your own time. All that's true. That's true, but you do need people. You do need relationships. You do have to collaborate. And this presents for an interesting dilemma because let's say you're at work and you hate having to go to those meetings, you hate having to talk to people, but you want to advance at the company. You got to talk to somebody. You have to have some relationship with somebody. You can't do it all on your own. You can't do it all on your own. The key is, can you find your people? Can you find your people? And this is a great question right here. I caught. Sometimes you can have a little bit of arrogance within the hyper self-reliance, but more times than not, I see it as somebody craving independence because they either want to feel like they can do things on their own, or they don't like being told to do certain things, or rejection hurts so much that they just stay to themselves. You can have arrogance, but I'll say arrogance is more so feeling like you are better than other people and expressing that perspective. And hyper self-reliance is more so a quest for independence and not wanting to deal with other people. Like, you're just tired. You're just drained. I'm drained. I'm drained. Right. Sometimes we don't trust people. And sometimes we don't trust our ability to read people correctly. This right here, Sam, thank you for this. This is one of the biggest reasons why we like to be by ourselves, especially for me. Especially for me. One thing I hate doing is making the same mistake with a different person. I saw the same signs in the beginning, and I still get jammed up. I'm like, damn, I'm 33. I'm too old to be getting played. I play myself. When you have a hard time reading people, engaging character, you want to stay to yourself because it's safer. You can't get hurt by yourself. But then you're not able to connect with people, and life is about connection. Life is about relationships and connection. So you need to connect and you need to talk to people. But talking to people, you run the risk of being played, it being a waste of your time, being hurt. Rose, no problem. And Trisha says, I agree. When you ignore the red flags because you want to give them the benefit of the doubt, there are ways to move forward in a certain relationship with somebody. Not so much personal romantic relationships, but in a work relationship or somebody you have to be cordial with, there are ways to move forward without giving them the benefit of the doubt. You can assume that somebody will do a certain thing and not be hurt if they do it. Now, when a person is really close to you, then it definitely hurts. Right. And that's the thing about dating. You really have to take your time. You got to take your time. Unfortunately, I feel like maybe it's not today. Maybe it's just me. But we hook up with a person and then we get to know them later. That's also a neurodivergent problem. Oh, maybe more so ADHD. You're supposed to get to know the person and then you get to the Mickey Ficky. How I saw it coming up, I'm like, nah, we do the Mickey Ficky first, and then I can decide whether it's worth getting to know you. All right, that's how my thinking was. until my brain fully formed. I'm like, nah, Mickey Vicky first. Then I'm gonna see if I want to get to know you. I know. Let me see if it's worth it to get to know you. Sam, you feel me? You know? And I came to find out that that's not the best way to do things. And obviously, I'm a professional, so I know that. But I came to find out that that's not the best way to do things. I'm like, oh my gosh, because if you do that first, and then Mickey Ficky is good, then you automatically assume that they're a good person. They may not be a good person. Maybe the Mickey Ficky is just pretty good. The Mickey Vicky can take over your whole life. And Devin says, yeah, no. Louis says, I don't do hookups. Thankful for the citizen. And I would caution against hookups. I really would. Being older, having a fully formed brain now, because I think one of the most important things that you need to be looking for, especially when it comes to dating, one of the most like we know that when it comes to dating, the way that you like how you view money is important, how you view politics, religion. Like we know that all those things are important. Yes, so good, do all that. But one thing we don't talk about enough when it comes to dating is the assessment of somebody's character. Somebody with good character is someone that could do you wrong, but they still won't do you wrong. Someone that could talk bad about you behind your back and you'll never find out, but they still don't want to do that. Somebody who has every opportunity to cheat and to betray you, but they still won't do that. A high character individual. We don't assess for that sometimes. Whether you're hooking up with the person kind of quickly, or whether y'all go to the same church, so you assume that they're a good person, or whether you've worked with them for 3 years, so you assume that they have great character. We don't check for character. We don't check for character. And like I said, there's a lot of reasons why we don't do that, but that's something that we need to really assess for, especially us as neurodivergents. That's one of the first things that we should be checking for. And I know that when it comes to hooking up, people will say hookups are bad. And I see somebody throw out Christianity and, like, I don't hook up because I'm Christian. But there's two sides to this, because you can have the person who hooks up quickly, and because of that, they can't see somebody's character. Then you have somebody who is Christian, and the person that they're dating is Christian, and they just assume that the person's a good person because y'all go to church. Oh no, Mickey Ficky. Be careful. Be careful. This is funny. What's good for your whole is not always good for your soul. I've never heard that, but I completely agree. I completely agree. What's good for the whole ain't always good for the soul. I need to steal that one. I like that one. I like that one. Amy said, my ex-husband of 24 years shredded me. Sorry to hear that, Amy. He did a full 180 in 1 year after 23 years of relative stability. I'm sorry to hear this, Miss Amy. I'm sorry. And look, it's tough to check for character. It's very hard. You can find somebody who has good character and they appear to be somebody you can move forward with. And over time, that could change. That's a difficult thing. This could change. Nothing is ever static. People change. People get better. People get worse. So it is a gamble. It's a risk that you have to decide for yourself whether it's worth taking or not. It's tough. It's tough. It's tough. Tough. Depth is earned by consistency, not chemistry. I agree. I agree. I agree. And in general, it's good to go slow. How do you all vet people? Shoot, I'll put that question out for y'all. I'll answer, but I'm generally curious as to how people vet people. As a grown up, as Dr. Kojo, as somebody who teaches this type of stuff, I've struggled to vet people. At one point, I would go to the gym, meet guys, but hey, bro, hey, you're a cool guy. We should hang out. You're a cool guy. We should hang out. I started doing that 4 years ago. I had a guy come over, came to the house, and was like, yo, you live here? Yeah. I'm like, yeah. How'd you get all this? Social media, but I can show you. I can show you how to do social media. Some people steady you so that they can be you. And obviously they can't be you because you're you. But some people steady you in order to be you. Before you know it, the resentment builds up. And I realized, okay, like now I can't just hang out with guys. Like, yeah, we played basketball and we're cool, but I don't know you. So that was an easy cutoff. I think it took me a while to realize that you can't just, well, nah. Social media helped out with that. But it took me a while initially to realize that you can't just meet a girl and be like, come over to my house. I don't know who you are, what you do. No, I don't know who you are. I don't know who you are. I think it takes one good betrayal or one false friend or a fake friend to really whip you into shape where you're like, all right, okay, all right, I'm ready. I need to be more vigilant in terms of looking for character traits that I want to align myself with. You gotta be very careful out there. Gotta be very careful out there. Dealing with people is a gamble. It's a gamble. It's a gamble. You have to be very careful out there. Slow is best. I think that's the number one thing I can say. Go slow and take your time. Go slow, take your time. Don't be in a rush to invite people over to your house. Always downplay what you're doing, not in a self-deprecating way, but don't. And it sucks that you have to do this. It sucks that you have to do this. And I had a friend who I knew, and I didn't want to really realize this, but I knew to myself that he had been jealous of me for years and years and years and years. But the part of my brain that's an overly nice person wanted that to not be the case. So I'm like, oh no, like that's just a homie, knowing that he's somebody who is jealous. And I kept this friendship, up for years. And eventually I learned the hard way. I had to be backstabbed. Like eventually you learn your lesson. If you continue to deal with this person, they will show you why you no longer wanted to deal with them in the first place. And do you know what? About 2 years before I fell out with this person, do you know what gave me the sign that I shouldn't be dealing with this type of person? What gave me the sign was a day where I got off a Zoom call. Okay, I got off a Zoom call with the Indianapolis Colts, the football team, and we were talking about doing something for mental health. We were talking about, I was working with the NFL. I had done something with the Rams. The Rams had just won the Super Bowl, and we did a mental health thing for the city of Los Angeles. So on this particular day, I'm talking with the Indianapolis Colts about potentially doing something for mental health in the NFL. Okay, I got the Zoom call. Mind you, I'm a Titans fan, so I don't even like the Colts, but an opportunity to work with another NFL team, I'm like, this is so cool. And this is when things were like, this is when cool things are really starting to happen for me. So I got the Zoom call and I was like, man, I'm having such a good day, blah, blah, blah. This friend calls and this friend asked me how my day had been. And my first thought was to say, I just got off a Zoom call with so-and-so. But instead of saying that, something within me held off. And I was like, I've had a pretty good day. It's been a good day. Yeah, what would you do? I just cleaned the house and just kind of hung around. But it's been a chill day. It's been a good day. My reluctance to tell this friend the good news that happened to me was a sign that maybe you shouldn't be dealing with this person for a reason. So you have the signs within you. You just have to slow down and pay attention. We all have people right now that we shouldn't be talking to or dealing with. And for some reason, you choose to still deal with this person. If that's the case, at some point, something will happen and it will remind you of why you weren't supposed to continue this relationship. And it's going to be so painful that you actually get the lesson. Some things you just have to go through once. You're like, all right, say, I got it. I got it. I got it. I get 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 it. And go Seahawks. Sometimes it is your parents. I hate that happens, but sometimes it's your parents. Sometimes it's your spouse. Some people are afraid to tell their spouse good news because there's competition. There's jealousy from the person. Some people are sleeping with the enemy. I mean, how deep y'all want to get on a Monday night? Yeah, sometimes it's your partner. I don't know what to say about that. And if it's your partner, it's pretty hard to win when the enemy is sleeping right next to you. Like, how deep y'all want to get on a Monday night? It does feel like a Wednesday. Blink 111, it does feel like a Wednesday. And see what Olivia is saying. When I first started dating my ex, I got the urge to dump him, but didn't. My biggest regret. And in these situations, you don't necessarily have to dump the person, but you have to figure out why you felt like dumping the person. You've got to figure that out. And I'm finally at the age now where I realize to myself that I can pause when I have conflicting emotions. Like when I don't understand something, or when something doesn't make sense to me, or I feel a way about something. I now realize that I'm in conflict. And if that's all I know, that's all I know. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to act on this information. But I just have to sit down there and pause and ask myself why I feel this way. Why do I feel this way? Because the answer to that is going to give you all the information that you need to move forward. Why do I feel this way? Why do I feel this way? And why do I feel this way around somebody that is my person, is my sibling, is my child? Rose, yeah, you just have to know that you're in conflict. You don't have to make a decision. Don't go cutting the person off ASAP. Don't go breaking up with the person. Don't watch his live stream and instantly say, yeah, I need a break. No, you don't have to do all that. You don't have to make that decision off the bat. The most important thing to do is to understand that you're in conflict and that there's something that you don't understand, and just leave it right there. Don't ignore that feeling. Recognize it. Appraise the situation for what it is and move forward. And as you move forward, eventually you're able to connect the dots. You're like, that's it. Hey, have y'all ever just been driving and a thought hits you and that thought helps you connect the dots from an earlier situation? You'll just be driving or maybe taking a number 2 or at the gym or just outside taking the trash out. And a thought hits you and you're like, that's it. It just hits you out of nowhere. You're like, that's it. You connect the dots when you don't try to. It'll come to you. Yeah, just pause and reflect. It'll come to you. It will come to you. Lovita, I appreciate that. Non-conflict for attending the lives that come to the show. It will come to you. The answer will come to you. You just got to pause and reflect. Just give it some time. Bunny says, one partner suddenly changes, wondering if it's mental issue or brain games. Well, a lot of times when that happens, there's a sudden change in your partner and you're seemingly okay with it, or you don't, adjust the situation or speak up for yourself. It could be from past situations where you've been okay with, a switch up from a partner. Could be. Adrienne says, sometimes it's hard to listen to our gut because we know we are anxious about most things. Right. And that's why the things that we can control, we better control them. Sometimes you don't know the answer because you're very anxious about everything. But the controllables, you better control them as best as you can. Are you working out or moving the body in some capacity every day? Are you getting enough sleep? Are you hanging around people that you believe have your best interests in mind? Are you removing yourself from situations that you know for sure aren't good for you? If you're doing all these things in some capacity, before you know it, the truer version of you starts to come out over time. And the answers come to you. You have to give it time and do what you can. Get the sleep, get the exercise, avoid negative situations. The answer comes to you over time. And if you're not fully confident about something within your gut, then it could be intuitive, but it's not what your inner intuition really wants. Because when we're talking about intuition, she's a mini Australian Shepherd, mini Aussie. When we're talking about intuition, these are things that deep down within yourself, you know to be true. And you know that if you go against this intuition, something bad's going to happen. Like when you know something to be that true, then you don't suppress that voice. Like you just know within yourself that, okay, I'm not supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to be doing this. Sometimes you don't even know why. You're just like, no. And there's a reason why you feel that way. There's a reason why you feel that way. And when that happens, you just have to pause. Yeah. Pause and reflect. And I wish I would take this advice for myself too. Pause and reflect. Just pause. Pause and reflect. Pause and reflect. Is avoidant dysfunction a part of being neurodivergent? It could be. So many things within the neurodivergent spectrum can lend itself to somebody becoming avoidant. It could be. Carrie on TikTok says sleep. Sometimes that in itself resets me completely. Bed early, no stimulation. Carrie, I completely agree. Sleep by itself, even for me, sleep by itself, when I get sleep, have y'all heard of the HALT method? Never make decisions when you're hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. HALT. Hungry, angry, lonely, tired. If one of those things are in play, don't make decisions. Getting sleep will take care of the tired part. Sometimes we just need 8 hours of sleep. Sometimes we just need 8 hours of sleep. And if you can sleep at the same time every night, even better. That's been one of the most difficult things about being in my 30s. Realizing that I can't cut on sleep. I can't skip sleep like I used to. Because when I do, I feel it. I feel it in my bones. No major decisions are going to be made unless I'm getting sleep. And that's been very helpful for me. Now I'll tell myself, all right, Kojo, no major decisions until you put together 5 days in a row where you slept for 8 hours each night. The Oura Ring helps to track it. Each night, 8 hours of sleep, 5 days in a row. If you still want it after then, okay, cool. You're mentally stable to make this decision. If not, let's go back and get some sleep. And then we'll come back when we've gotten some sleep. We'll come back when we've gotten some sleep, and hopefully things will be better. I'm so off for relationships, always have been. The only ones I'm amazing at as a mom. I wish I was able to have strong relationships with others. Well, Ali, I can tell you first and foremost that the inner dialogue in your head is not, I don't know why you're awful at relationships. I can't say I don't know you, but the inner dialogue and the confidence that you have within yourself, uh, those are two things that as you work on those, um, your relationships will be better. And also, I just want to say this: the relationship that you have with your kids versus the relationship you have with somebody else, completely different. Between mother and son, that's unconditional love. Even if your son does something very bad and he has to pay the price legally, you'll still love him. You'll just tell him that that was a really bad thing. Now you gotta go to jail or whatever. So, parent to child, that's unconditional love. I believe that's the only unconditional love that exists. Person to person, partner to partner, man to woman, oh, that's very conditional. And figuring out what the conditions are and how to go about that, it can be very exhausting. But I don't know if unconditional love exists between romantic partners. What do y'all think? I just don't think it exists between romantic partners, honestly. Amy, I'm probably in that same boat with you. I'm working hard to get that sleep. I'm working hard to get that sleep. Adrian says sleep has been a game changer. My son's favorite saying is tomorrow can be better. I like that. I like that. Parent your child to be a parent, I suppose. Okay. Do you think a parent can disown you? Well, so here's the thing, Geneva. Not every parent and child dynamic has that unconditional love. And I think you can create distance between yourself and somebody and still have unconditional love. I believe that. Yeah, no, sleep is a huge issue for us. Sleep is a huge issue for us. I think sleep is. I can't think of 5 things that are a bigger struggle for me than sleep. And 90 to 95% of neurodivergents struggle with sleep in some capacity. If all of us got sleep at night, a lot of our problems will go away. A lot of our problems will go away. Yeah, no. Sleep is hard. It's hard. And Adrienne says unconditional love doesn't exist between romantic partners because love is a choice. I do agree that. I do agree with that. We've got to get some sleep. Extended release melatonin game changer. Melatonin works for some people it doesn't work for. But sleep, however you have to get it. I have to take sleep aids to go to sleep. And my family, my sister, my mom were like, well, don't you think you can ever get to a point where you don't need sleep aids to sleep? I'm like, sure. If so, sure. But if I have to take them to sleep, I will take them to sleep. I have got to get some sleep. Got to get some sleep. That's another thing too. A lot of us aren't dreaming. Maybe it's lack of sleep, maybe it's the substances, but a lot of us are not dreaming. And dreams they go a long way to helping to reset ourselves. My cocktail is tart cherry juice, non-pot, Benadryl. Benadryl 50 has been clutch for me many a times in my life. I'm not pushing anything to anybody, but Benadryl 50 has been very helpful for me. Been very helpful for me. All right. We're at the point where we're wrapping up the live stream. Let me see. Okay. Wrap up the live stream. We will be streaming live tomorrow. Let me see. What is this week? Yeah. Tomorrow's Tuesday, so that's our scheduled day for live streaming anyway. And let's see, we got travel next 2 weekends. Okay. So we'll be live streaming tomorrow, and then we'll live stream on Thursday. So our normal schedule with these live streams are Tuesdays and Thursdays. And last week I streamed all 5 days, which I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed that. We will definitely stream our normal schedule Tuesday and Thursday this week. And yeah, Tuesday and Thursday this week, because I want to over deliver. So we got a Monday streaming. We'll stream Tuesday, then we'll stream Thursday as well. And I got to catch up on a couple of things. No, I'm not in Tennessee. I will be in Tennessee on the 31st of May, Carrie. The 31st of May, I'll be at the Zanies Comedy Club. Looking to bring my friends there to do some stand-up. Oh, and the live stream is, yes, 8 p.m. Central, 9 o'clock East Coast time, 6 o'clock West Coast time. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, right. Don't overplan. Happy early birthday, Sarah. And Geneva, 2 years ago, I had I came to Chicago 2 years ago. Or Alsip, Illinois. I had a comedy show in Chicago 2 years ago. I gotta come back there sometime soon. I really enjoyed Chicago. I really, really enjoyed Chicago. Yep. Let me reply this real quick. I still don't think there's unconditional love between partners. And you can still love your ex in some way, even with the terrible treatment. I can believe that. And sometimes we love versions of the people, like the people that we love. It may not be that you love the person, but you could. I'm not telling you who you love and who you don't love, but it could also be that you love the picture of that person that you've generated in your head. So you could love what that person represents. Just a thought. Where will I be in Tennessee? You're in Chattanooga. Birthday is May 30th. Maybe I should come. Well, May 30th is a Saturday, and the 31st is a Sunday. It'll be 6:30 p.m. Central Time at Zanies in Nashville, Tennessee. Nashville and Chattanooga, I think you have to hit 24 West to get to Nashville, if my memory serves me correctly. That's like a hour and a half. No, it was longer than that. It's like a 2-hour drive, I think, from Chattanooga to Nashville. Yeah. Not that long of a drive. I made that drive many times. Dallas, Fort Worth in the house. Okay. Texas in the house. I would definitely love to come to Texas. It's funny. We had a Dallas show planned last year before I burnt out. So I burnt out last year and I canceled all the dates because I could not sleep. That was one of the things that was leading to burnout. I couldn't sleep. I could not sleep. I had to get back right. So I'm looking to add Dallas back at some point this year. Yeah, so I'm looking to add Dallas. We have a show in Houston, April the 26th, then Nashville, May the 31st. We will add Dallas in at some point. We definitely want to add Dallas in at some point. And Sam, it's all good. I was just burned out. I'm better now. I was just burned out. And unconditional love doesn't mean you won't walk away. I agree. Because even, parents and between that parent and child dynamic, sometimes you love your parents unconditionally or they love you unconditionally, but for their mental health or for yours, somebody got to walk away. And Leilani, right here, this is something that a lot of us, we can be on both sides of it, but I feel like it's neurodivergence. A lot of people love the thought of us, but not the actual reality of us. Because in real life, we're overstimulated, we're overworked, we're tired, we're easily agitated, We're struggling with task paralysis, time blindness. You know, like that's the real life version of us. But the version that people have concocted in their heads is us that struggles with nothing. We will tell anybody, come to the Allen, Collin County area. Okay, I'm not sure where that's at, but I may have to get that on the list. I gotta get that workout in. Hey, get the workout in. Get the workout in. Get the workout in. North Dallas, Fort Worth area. Okay, that's a nice area. I gotta come back to Dallas. I definitely have to come back to Dallas. Carly asks, "Are you neurospicy too?" Of course, I'm neurospicy. How do you think I know all this? How do you think I know all this? Of course, I'm neurospicy. Of course. That's how I learned all this. That's how I learned all this. Oh my goodness. Yes, was married to someone who didn't accept me for who I was for 10 years. It did a number on my mental health. Man, the person that you decide to be with, I think people say that that's maybe the most important decision you'll ever make. I think it's, yeah, you know, yeah, it's right up there in terms of the most important decisions that you'll ever make. You got to be very intentional with who you choose to be with. Obviously, like your friends, you want to, choose your friends carefully. You want to choose your friends carefully, but the person that you decide to be with, be very, very, be very mindful of who you are and what you need, and if that person is that, and if they're not, no, it won't work. It won't work. It won't work. It will not work. And dare I say, it's better to be alone than to be with the wrong person. And a lot of us like being alone, but nobody wants to be alone, or lonely. You can be alone, but you don't want to be lonely. But I would rather be alone than to be with the wrong person. Right up there, we're choosing a football team. Blink, I know, Blink. I didn't choose the Titans. The Titans chose me. Akon. I'm weak. Blink said Akon. Yeah, I'm weak. People that look like Akon. Sarah, I'm happy to see that you got your person. I'm happy to see you got your person. Big convention center. Well, Ashton, look, hopefully there's enough people in Dallas who enjoy my content, who want to come out and see me do stand-up comedy and hang out with me. If we can sell out the convention center, hopefully. Now, I really like what Leilani said. I was looking at my calendar and Leilani's like, don't overplan. I'm like, yeah, you're right. You're right. The overplan. And see, this is why it's important to understand yourself. Because whenever I look at my calendar and I see, okay, we have a lot of travel days coming up. Let me see. I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 flights in the next 2 weeks. Yeah. And then after that, am I going somewhere again? Then March, fly. Yeah. It's important to look at your calendar and properly assess before booking yourself too much. Blink 101 says Zane's is small. You're gonna have me getting hot flash. Well, hopefully they can open some doors so that way you don't get hot flashes. Zany's is small. I have checked out Zany's in Nashville, so it is kind of small, but I like those small rooms. Hopefully we can keep you not being too hot. Blink. Pittsburgh, I gotta come to Pittsburgh. It's been years since I've been in Pittsburgh. I love Pittsburgh. Amy says, I'm 100% lonely now, to be honest, but it's so much better than me. I agree with this take as well. I would rather be lonely than to be in a bad relationship. Yeah. And Ali, my memory isn't the best, but that's why I have all these reminders on my phone. J Ramsey 99, thank you so much for the super chat. Normally people write something there when they put the super chat, and I'd read it out. There's nothing there, but I appreciate it too. Thank you so much for that. Oh, I also appreciate your content, bro. Thank you, Ramsey. I appreciate you as well. I appreciate you as well. Arkansas. I love to come to Arkansas. I love to come to Arkansas. I would love to come out there. I would not avoid Arkansas. It just never came up with my comedy promoter. But I love to come to Little Rock or Bentonville or Texarkana or somewhere. Carol rebooted life, divorced, new job, moved across the continent. Oh, Carol says she wants. Carol's a whole new person now. Whole new person now. Take care, Ali. Yeah, we're back on here again tomorrow as well. Yeah, Leilani, I agree with this take. It's better to be lonely than to be in a terrible relationship. Because the terrible relationship, how can you get the mental bandwidth to improve your life? You can't. And it sucks so bad when people are like, what should I do differently? And the answer is you got to change that. It really sucks. And Carly asked a really good question here that I want to answer before I end this live stream, because I really like what Carly is saying here. Carly TikTok. Did you ever face discrimination from colleagues for being neurospicy? And if so, how did you navigate? Did I ever face discrimination from colleagues for being neurospicy? So no, but it wasn't something that I would discuss with my colleagues. In fact, my colleagues figured out that I was neurospicy from watching my content. Once my content started to go viral in 2020, that's when it really started to go viral. Once it started to hit the internet and get hundreds of thousands of views and millions of views, that's when my colleagues recognized that I was neurospicy. But I don't think that I faced discrimination, because yes, I was neurospicy, but they saw me online with a lot of views. So then they will come to me and tell me that some of them were also neurospicy, and like, it worked out well for me. But the social media clout probably helped to overshadow the neurospicy part and my actual deficiencies. But I never confided in my colleagues or told them that I had ADHD or anything like that. I just kept it to myself. Wasn't sure who I could really trust, so on and so forth. So I just kind of, kept it within me. Great question, though. Great question. No, Amy, I would love to come to Australia. It's funny, I've had a lot of people on the live stream say that they're from Australia. The thing is, Australia is also a continent, and huge AF. Australia is like large. I have a friend right now who is touring in Australia. He'll actually be in Houston and Nashville for those two shows. Frankie Marcos, you will see that comedian if you come to any of the shows right now listed on the tour. He's in Australia right now, and he went from Sydney to Melbourne, and then he's going to go to Perth at some point. Australia is huge. I got a lot of people there. Huge. Australia is a hella huge. And Ballardina is from Sydney, Australia. Okay. So we got a lot of Australians come in Seattle. I'm looking to add a show in Seattle and New York City right now. Honestly, I'm looking to add that. My colleagues figure out neurospicy 5 minutes into my first day. I'm also self-conscious about it. The struggle is real, finding work where people understand. Right. And if you have colleagues that understand you and appreciate you for who you are, then great. Sometimes it can be hard to actually have that. But if you have colleagues that accept you, then the likelihood that you'll stay at that job is pretty high. I think you would really enjoy a job where you can be yourself and not have to mask as much. I do understand that you have to mask a little bit, a little. It's nice just to pretend like you're normal, like a little. But for the most part, if you have a neurodivergent, safe community and workplace, oh yeah, you'll enjoy it. And neurospicy is ADHD, dyslexia, autism, dyscalculia. I really think that you can throw bipolar and schizophrenia under the neurodivergent umbrella. But some people are like, no, that's not neurospicy. I would say it's neurospicy. And Carly, yeah, I just got to do a world tour. Looks like that's what we got to do. So we'll get around to the world. I do believe that we'll get around to the world, and I'll get to meet a lot of y'all in person, and y'all can come out to a show. That'd be super cool. Just upstate New York as well. I love to come to Rochester and Poughkeepsie and Buffalo, and I love to come up there. Masking is draining. That's why I emphasize having those spaces like here where you can be yourself. And I was just texting my promoter about Seattle. Honestly, I don't have a Seattle date quite yet, but we're looking to do Seattle and New York City. So obviously, whenever we have dates, I'll put that out there. All right, y'all. It's 6 minutes over the 90-minute threshold that I gave myself. And Leilani, we'll probably keep these shows like 90 minutes. Yeah, probably 90 minutes. Yeah, cause I can go on, and I do have emails and some stuff I have to get to that. It helps me out. That I gotta get to that. So, all right. So tomorrow we'll be back on the live stream. 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock East Coast time, 8 o'clock Nashville time, 7 o'clock Arizona time, 6 o'clock Seattle time, 5 o'clock Alaska time, 4 o'clock Hawaii time. And Tara, I see your comment on TikTok. I will see you in Nashville on the 31st. All right. Until the very next live stream, which is tomorrow. Appreciate y'all. I love y'all, and I'm going to see y'all then. Try and get some sleep. I most definitely will. Peace.